Loving these braids. Like, when I first got them done, it was like, boom, where Craig at? See, like, I for real gotta get used to filming with this lens. I mean, it is everything though. You see that girl baby hairs and edges and that glow and highlight though. Ooh, okay, yeah, so. Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Synovia. Thank you again for tuning back into my channel. Happy Friday. I hope it's Friday when I upload this, but it's Friday right now. If this is your first time here, I will say I hope that you stick around. You like, you subscribe, you hit the bell so you're notified when your girl uploads a new video. If you are a part of my notification gang, hey girl, hey, welcome back. As you guys have seen by the title, today, I just kind of want to talk about primers. I've talked about it before in some of my previous videos about my skin type. I have very oily skin. I wouldn't even say it's combination, it's just strictly oily. I do want to talk about what primers or what are my, let me see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My top 5. In no particular order, but I guess I can say I'm going to go from my least favorite to my most favorite and then share what works for me. If you guys have oily skin as well and maybe you have some tips for your girl, please comment below. Or maybe the tips or what I'm using can help work for you as well. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so 2 of them, well actually 3 of them were samples or the smaller trial size that I purchased first. Because I know, you know, at Sephora, you can try it, take it back. But I don't like going through all that. So I'd rather get a smaller size first and, you know, kind of work with it. Because sometimes it depends on what you pair it with, how you paired it, how you used it. You kind of got to go by trial and error. So I'd rather spend a smaller amount on a smaller size before I invest in the larger sizes. Again, it's just something that works for me. Okay, so I don't know if this is Boscia, whatever, but it's the Pore Perfecting White Charcoal Mattifying Treatment Primer. I got this, it came with I think during the holidays, you know how they do the kits that you can get a whole, like the cleanser, the toner, the moisturizer, the primer, all of that came with it. I do like this line, but this is what the primer looks like here. Make sure you guys can see this. It is the whole charcoal line. I'm digging it. It's a, let me see, kind of a creamy, kind of white, kind of, this is what it looks like here. But it does mattify really well. You probably can't tell, there's still a little wet. And I'm ashy, Jesus. See, this is why I don't like filming with this lens, because if you guys can tell, before you ask, I am filming with my Canon Nifty 50 Nifty. I think it's the Nifty 50. The one that blurs the background out. So yeah, I'm filming with that. I haven't pulled her out in a minute and I'm missing that. But then I remember that it's like, bam, right in your face. So you guys are seeing like pores, chapped lips, a little bit of oil, a little bit of baby hairs. Y'all kind of got to see all that going on. I don't even know honestly why I said this is, I don't mean least favorite as if I'll never purchase it. I just had to kind of pick some type of order for these to go in. But I really like how this feels here. And to be honest, I don't know if you guys have tried the skincare line, but again, this line is pretty good. I've tried the charcoal cleanser. They have a toner. They also have a mattifying spray. Now I will say I had to learn the hard way with that mattifying spray, because if you spray it, you got on some black, yeah, you're kind of going to see those white spots as they dry up. So the finishing spray I wasn't too fond of, or maybe I sprayed too much, maybe I was a little too close, I don't know, but I'm not willing to invest in that again. I use my primers all over. I know some ladies just do the T-zone, but again, I'm like very oily, so this here is definitely a must-have or a primer fave in my book. This is the one I actually should have showed first, because although I'm a fan of this line, this primer didn't really wow me. I use it, but it didn't wow me like I thought it would. It is the NARS Pore and Shine Control Primer. That was white. Ooh, that's a little too much on there. It has a fragrant smell, in my opinion. I don't know what it was about it. Like, I I do like it, but okay, here's the thing. What I felt with this particular primer here, and I don't think it's just me, I think I've heard this before, this actually works better when I wear my NARS foundation. Does that make sense? You know how they have some primers that you can use for day-to-day stuff? Like, okay, they don't have a makeup line, but this primer works for all of my foundations. It could be just me, but in my opinion, this here, whenever I wear my NARS makeup or my NARS foundation, this is the primer that I reach for with that. So other than that, I personally don't care for this particular primer with all of my other foundations. Not that I have a lot, but I think I rotate between maybe 4 or 5. And in my opinion, this just works better when it's paired with its sister, I guess. So yeah, if you guys know any tips or tricks, or maybe I'm not using it properly or didn't really give it a chance with my other foundations, you know, let me know. I'm willing to try it again. I'm not writing it out. Like, I'm not against it, because again, it's a part of my favorites for my oily skincare regimen. But yeah, I don't know. And then, you know, NARS is not cheap, y'all. If y'all are into NARS, you know that. Here, I was a little disappointed that this didn't wow me like I wanted it to as well. It works, but it just wasn't like knock my socks off, like my opinion that it was hyped up on YouTube and all. But it is the Too Faced Primed and Peachy. I think I did this with an unboxing. It's the Cool Matte Skin Perfecting Primer infused with peach and sweet fig cream. But this is what it looks like here. One thing that I do really like about this packaging is the fact that it has a pump on it, if you guys can see that. Yeah, it has a pump. Love that you're not fighting to squeeze it out. Let me show you guys what it looks like. It does smell like peaches. It's very peach. It smells really good. It really does. It does the job. I think with this one here, my opinion, you can't be heavy-handed when it comes to rubbing it in like you're applying moisturizer, because if you do that, you'll start getting little crumbs that kind of, you got to get your nail or something and dust them off. But it's more kind of barely rub it in and kind of pack it in, if that makes sense. Maybe it's just my skin. I don't know. I do like it, but again, I had to find out by trial and error. You know, because I'm used to kind of rubbing my primers in, and one day I rubbed it in and, you know, what's going on with my makeup, not paying any attention, kind of looked in the mirror and was like, what are all these crumbs like on my face? So I felt myself wiping and all that good stuff. Yeah, so they say this is cooling matte. I've heard people say, oh, I can feel it cooling on my face. Maybe my skin is hot as hell. I don't know. I don't feel the cooling sensation. That part I don't feel, but other than that, this does do the job. It does smell really well. My only issue with this, like I said, is you can't vigorously rub it in. Just kind of FYI or a tip if you guys get this, but other than that, it does the job. It smells amazing. This here is my #1 go-to. If I'm out of my Becca primer, in which I am out of right now, that would have been on the list also, but that Becca primer is life. If I'm out of that, this is the one that I reach for the absolute most. It's the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. This is what it looks like here. Like, this has been repurchased several times. That's just how much I really like this. You know, anytime I'm out, if they're out of this in Sephora, I'm reaching for Becca. If they're out of the Becca, I'm reaching for this. So those are probably my top 2 faves that I can wear with whatever foundation. It actually does the job. It will have you looking a little chalky and a little pooky, like, you know, you have some white chalkiness on your, but me personally, I like that because again, it mattifies my face, and then when I go in and buff in my foundation, to me, it just gives it more of a all day lasting matte look for my skin type. Some people, you know, kind of prefer to use this sparingly in certain areas, because if you put this on and you rub it in, like within 5 minutes, you can turn and look in the mirror and you're like, ooh, you know, I kind of got a white haze or a white cast over my face. This will do that. But in my opinion, it controls my oil so much better out of any other primer that I've personally tried, and it lasts more throughout the day. I'm doing less blotting and touching up whenever I use this, and the same for my Becca. Those are probably the 2 that I could vouch for. This, I may be using this wrong, but again, this whole video is about what works for me, right? So this, I purchased a smaller size because I didn't want to invest in it until I, you know, tried it. But it's the Milk makeup. It's their blur stick. You're probably not gonna be able to really pick this up on camera. No, you're not. It does blur any imperfections that you have, your pores, all of that. What I have found, especially since I have this smaller size, I like to keep this in my little cosmetic bag in my purse. Whenever I have those moments where I'm a little oily throughout the day, and instead of touching up with like a pressed powder or blotting powder or blotting sheets, I hit it with this. I don't even know if I'm supposed to or not, but I kind of just take those areas and hit it there and kind of just, you're not rubbing it, but you're kind of slightly going across, you know, wherever you touch it at, and it puts a little film over it where it just kind of smooths it, blurs it out, and it takes the oiliness away. Like now, kind of just dab the area where it's at. Like my eyelids, I feel like are a little, And I would say be careful with it, because I don't even think you're supposed to use it for that. I don't know. I don't want you guys to write me back and like, Snubby, I tried the Milk throughout the day and I had a white cast or white haze over my face. Again, this is just what works for me. Just a little tip that I found. I still use it as a primer underneath my makeup, but for whatever reason, I think I had it in my makeup bag and I was out of blotting sheets. I'm like, let me see what happens if I kind of put this in certain areas on top of my makeup. And it was only when I noticed I got a little oily later, hours later during the day. And it instantly took the shine away, blurred out, you know, from the pores, looking like they had resurfaced again. So try it, see if that works. If it doesn't work, I told you so. I just wanted to share my favorite for my primer for my oily skin, which are these babies here. So if you guys have not tried them, try them. If you have any other primers that you guys love and have any recommendations, definitely let me know. I will be happy to either go get a sample or purchase a trial size, you know, just to see how it works. Yeah, you guys keep me posted. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next video.